Wrong button. Mute that. Live. Control F5. Video should be live at this point. Also, hello to anyone watching this in the future. Why isn't it showing up? Alt tab. It says I'm streaming. Let's go to the home thing, and that's probably where it's going to pop up. There it is. Okay. Yep, there is a puppet on screen, and any second now, my finger is going to point at it. Pop out chat. There we are. Move that over to the other screen, like so. Maximize it. Yep, there's my finger pointing at the puppet. That took a few minutes, didn't it? Now we shut that down to save on CPU processing power. Alt tab our way over to there. And we get the cursor down there. Greetings, everyone. Exclamation point. All right, so for anyone wondering what we're doing today, here, hold on just a moment. Let me do a thing. My apologies. This is probably going to sound fairly loud on the internal microphone of this camera. Okay. All right, so greetings, Internet. Anyone who happens to be watching, if anyone is watching. If not, it's fine. For today's video, I just got something in the mail, which obviously if you're watching this in the future, you just got to see several minutes of it. But recently on Facebook Marketplace, I was able to get another one of my bucket list puppets, a figure that I've been wanting to get my hands on for a while. And that figure is this little guy right here. This is Mo Howard of the Three Stooges, produced by the Horseman Doll Company back in 1981/1982. Excuse me. So, for today's video, for today's stream, I should say, I'm just going to be working on trying to make him look a bit better. Because, unfortunately, our little buddy Mo here, just get some better lighting on the poor sod, he is very, very dirty. I mean, look at that. Not to mention his shirt's all stained up. He's missing a button here and there. He's missing his red bow tie, or not bow tie, a red necktie that he's supposed to have. Also his hands, you can even see that without the extra lighting. Like, there we go. Now you can actually see it. My goodness. Over the decades, this poor guy's been through it. And today, I'm going to be working to try and make him look as good as I can. So without further delay, since I've already been streaming for almost 5 minutes now, and I'm just now getting to the intro, let's do this thing. Alright, so pardon any loud thumps and bumps. I have the camera's internal microphone being used for this specifically, and I don't usually do that, so I'm in kind of new territory here. All right, so to start things off with, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the puppet's clothing. So, got to be careful because he's already lost one button as it is, and this one seems to be just hanging on by a thread. Go ahead and just undo that like so. And like I was saying before, I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera, but like all these stains and stuff. Let me work on the lighting real quick here. Okay, we turn that one off, not off, we turn that one down. Go ahead and turn this one down. Alright, the brightness is all the way down on those. Let's go ahead and try and block some of that light. Regardless, let's go ahead and remove Mo's jacket. So there's that. Not looking too bad. Obviously we got this big hole in the back, but that's supposed to be there so you can put your hand through and work the puppet. And as I guessed, that button, it's literally just hanging on by a thread. Another thing I should mention here, folks, is that Mo here, you can just tell this poor guy was in the house of a smoker for some time because he's got that like nicotine cigarette smoke smell. Thankfully, it's not like so strong that I'm like gagging on it, but it's enough that you can tell that someone smoked near him for a considerable amount of time. All right, we'll go ahead and put his shirt off to the side. Now, another thing is, I think I already just mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it again. Mo here was supposed to have a red necktie, as you can probably just about, hold on, let me get him under the camera, just about make out this little rectangle right here, where the original tie came undone. And his undershirt here, bring him down so he's actually in camera again. His undershirt here is actually attached to the pants, so this is all one piece of fabric. And for whatever reason, they decided not to give him sleeves on this, so his undershirt is literally more like a vest, as you can clearly see. So, just go around to the back here. And there are two buttons to undo. Thankfully, the bottom one's already undone, so we just have to undo this top one. Tighten up my gloves a little bit. And my apologies if any of you wind up hearing like a dog barking in the background. My neighbors have some rather yappy dogs. Case in point, I just yapped again. Oh, wait. All right, I got the button undone. There we go. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to gently remove the one piece right here. It's a one-piece outfit. Thankfully, he's not fully anatomically correct, but for whatever reason, the toy company that made him decided to give him a butt crack. And hopefully I don't get flagged by YouTube for showing off a doll's butt. That would be just about the stupidest thing. Alright, get the rest of your outfit off. And okay, let's get a look at your other portion of your outfit. It looks okay. We've got like some staining up here around the neck and along the back here, but all the seams seem to be in order. And you still got the 2 buttons like I mentioned before, so that's a good thing. Alright, we'll put Mo's pants and undershirt off to the side to be washed at a later point. Because our main focus today is Mr. Howard himself. Now next, let's go ahead and turn him around. Alright, we're going to have to remove his head from the body. And it looks like he's got the original rubber band in there all the way back from 1981. Actually seems to be in fairly good shape. Just get a better look at it under the lighting. It's definitely deteriorated a little bit, but it's not as bad as it could be. So we're just going to go in and carefully unhook that. As I'm doing this, I can hear it like crackling a little bit. It might not live through this part of the procedure. Okay, there we go. Just turn the head a bit. Try and get it over that little hook. There. All right. The rubber band survived, and Mo's head is now free of his body. Can I get the rubber band off of the hook in the bottom? Oh, I was pushing it the wrong way. Come on, there we go. Yeah, it is honestly surprising that that piece of rubber is in that good a shape after, let's see, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 2021, after the last 43 years. All right, so we're going to go ahead and set that off to the side. I don't know if I'm going to replace it with a spring yet or not, but we shall see. Okay, let's get a look at the inside of the torso. Oh, wow. Don't know how well y'all are going to be able to see that, but it is filthy inside there. Holy crud. Alright. Well, now's time to disassemble the rest of the body. So what we're going to do for this step, after I remove this hair, it's just kind of stuck in here. Is that a hair? No, that's fishing line. Oh, I see. Apparently someone tried to repair his arm at one point in time. If you'll notice, there's this discoloration, which is actually a piece of Scotch tape, or just a piece of plastic that someone taped on there, and then they sewed through it to get the arm to stay on. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I'll give whoever did it credit, because it's certainly still stuck on there fairly well. But again, now that we've done that, it's time to disassemble the body. Thankfully, these guys were put together in a very simplistic way. Just have to undo this tab on the side here. Oh, come on. The only thing I'm worried about is the potential that some of this plastic has gone fragile over the last 40 plus years, and that it might not survive this. See, that's how the arm is attached, this thingy right here. I just took that and inserted tab A into slot B, and boom, Mo had an arm. Now just repeat that process with the other 3 limbs. And oh, this one's more stiff than that one was. Come on. Come off of there. Okay. Almost. That's it. That's it. Come on. Don't you pop back in at this point. There we are. Arm number 2. And then the legs. My apologies to any viewers who may be offended by the sight of a puppet in undress, but it's a doll. Okay? Oof. Okay, that one does not want to come out of there. Come out of there, you. Alright, seems like it's starting to work its way out. Ha! Almost got my glove. No! Let go. Okay, and it's got my glove again. Let go. There we go. And we just work that tab out of there, and voila. Now we just have one more leg, which I now realize has partially come unstitched, but we can fix that in time. For the moment, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on getting the rest of that tab unstuck. Don't worry, folks, that wasn't the plastic breaking. That was just the tab sliding against itself. Okay, let's actually turn this thing around and try it from a different angle. Come on now. Almost gotcha. Okay. There. We've got the puppet fully disassembled. 2 legs, 2 arms, and the head. Huh. It appears that Mo's head here wasn't glued all the way together, or just over the last 40 plus years the glue has cracked. Because as you can clearly see right here, if I tug on that a little bit, the gap in the plastic opens up. So I should be able to get inside there and take a look at what's going on with the mechanism that's supposed to open and close the mouth, and potentially even just replace the that old rubber band in there that's failing. As a matter of fact, let me see. What can I do here? Is it split all the way up the back? Not quite. Alright. I'm going to need a screwdriver for this. Let's see, do I have one at the ready? Yes, I do. Nice little flathead screwdriver. And we're going to crack the seam on the back of Mo's head. What I should technically be doing is just going by this, and taking care of the easier parts to clean, and then working on the stuff like this, but I've never been one to do things the easy way. I mean, have y'all seen my Castlevania playthrough? Alright, so we get the main focus in focus. We're going to put all those doll parts off screen, give ourselves more room to work with. Can I wedge this in there? I can. There we go. Easy as you please. So now I should be able to carefully just spread that plastic far enough that I should be able to just pop Mo's head out of the head stick. I've got to be careful because this thing is glued together really well down here at the bottom. And I know from personal experience, because I tried working on a different, similar ventriloquist puppet back when I was still living with my parents. It was a Simon Says ventriloquist puppet made by the same company, had this exact same head stick. And when I was prying the head stick open to get at the rubber band and stuff, I snapped that clean off. So, as I was saying, experience shows me that I need to be delicate with this, lest I want to ruin a hard-to-find ventriloquial figure again. Come on now. You see the plastic's already split almost all the way down to there. It looks like it could pop open, but I don't want to risk it. Let's go ahead and just... Okay, almost. Come on. Easy, Mo. Easy. There. Okay. The head has been removed. Oh my gravy, that is disgusting in there. Apparently some kid tried to get him to drink something at one point and just got soda or something all up inside his head. Yuck. Also, that rubber band that's in there is still hanging on, but not by much. Let's go ahead and get the trigger mechanism for the mouth out of there so you can see the old rubber band. Alright, and so how they set this up is they would hook the rubber band onto this peg right here. Let me carefully bring them up. They hooked the rubber band to this peg right here in the front, and then they would slip the assembly together. Oh, okay, the rubber band just either broke or just came loose from the inside of his head. Let's get the screwdriver in between and see if it's actually broken. It is not. It is so. Yeah, that thing didn't have much life left in it. That would explain why his mouth just did not want to close. All right. Yeah, good. Like I said before, good gravy. That is nasty in there. All right, so next what we're going to want to do is carefully work the control trigger for the mouth out of there. Hold on, let's snap this back together. Now, why is it so stiff? Is it that goop that's in there? Or did the company make the ultra dumb decision to actually try and glue that in place? Sorry folks, gotta try and keep an eye on what I'm doing. Yeah, it almost seems like they glued it. But why would they do a dumb thing like that? Come on, you. Come out of there. And don't break. The glue can break, sure, but not that peg. Come on. Why on earth did they glue that peg in there? You've also got to be careful because with this plastic being as old as it is, there was another problem I had with that Simon Says puppet that I mentioned before, where I wound up snapping off the actual little trigger here that makes the mouth move. There's a part of me that wants to try and crack this farther down along the stick here, but I am terrified that I'm going to snap this off. Yep, I can already see. Don't know how well y'all can see that. I'm going to try and get a good angle on it. I'm turning it away from the camera, apparently. Like right down in there, the peg has developed a bit of a split. Keeps making itself known every time I apply pressure. Come on. Just break loose, damn you. Yeah, that peg's not coming out of there without breaking off. Darn it all. It's already split clean across here. Turn the camera, turn this so you can see. Don't know how well you can see it, but it is cracked clean across here and halfway across there. And this right here, folks, is why I don't usually do these kind of projects as live streams. Because there's a lot of nothing that goes on whilst I'm working on something. Yep, the peg has officially snapped clean off. Oh well, it needed to come out regardless. Let's see if there's any hope of trying to get the rest of it out with some pliers. No, I'm just crushing it. Well, there's another part of it that just came loose. Yeah, it's ruined. That peg is ruined. Oh, let's see. How well will it function with that one piece just foobar? Let's kind of put it back together. It should still function well enough. All right. Broke that. Let's see if I'm careful. I really don't want to try this. I already broke that. But it's going to be a real pain in the backside to try and clean this portion if all that gunk is hidden all the way down in the base of the neck post right there. Let's see. Just gently wiggle that back and forth. Try that on the front. Okay, we're getting closer. Now it's split to there. And I'm going to be so mad at myself if this post right here snaps or if this piece flies off. Just got to be careful and gentle. What I should do, honestly, is get like a saw or something and just like, or maybe even an X-Acto knife, just cut my way through that. But here I go being stupid again. Alright, if I go straight down through the neck post. I'm adding so much unnecessary pressure to that spot. Okay, okay. Put another little split through it right there. Heard another little crack. Hopefully that was a good one. Okay, we're up to here now. Please, for the love of goodness, Mo, you've already broken once. Do not break here. Oh, thank criminy. Okay. Oh, it was a nice clean split. Okay. All right. That's the head assembly undone. Let's see if I can salvage any of the remainder of his neck post. Or that thing right there. Let's see. Maybe if I go in with my little Phillips head screwdriver. No, that's it's just boring out the middle of the plastic. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that because I'm starting to warp that post. And I do not need that. Oh, I already started to crack it. Okay, stop. So I tell myself to stop, and then I grab the Phillips head screwdriver, or the flathead screwdriver, and start mucking around with it again. What I should honestly do at this point is just go in with like a drill and just hollow that out. Okay. So I'm going to stop messing around with that. Go ahead and throw away the old rubber band that just gave up the ghost on poor Mo here. And we'll move on to cleaning the inside of the head stick. Let's see here. For this part, I have paper towels. I have some cotton swabs, some rubbing alcohol, and, if necessary, some disinfecting wipes. So to start things off, I'm going to get all the big areas with paper towel and some rubbing alcohol. Put that here, and let's see what we can do. It's like 40-year-old soda or Kool-Aid or whatever stuck down in there. Looking a heck of a lot better already. Let's go ahead and flip it around. Okay, and little progress shot. This is what it looked like at the start. This is where it's at now. So we open that up, flip it inside out, and we carry on. Alright, it's looking like I've gotten this side about as good as I can get it with just the paper towel. So what we're going to do next is we're going to move on to that side of the neck post. We're going to work on the insides first, and then we're going to work our way to the external portion. My apologies to anyone watching who's like, the heck is this? Why is he cleaning a puppet? Where's the video games? Well, I'm trying something a little different today. If it wasn't obvious. Alright, carrying on. And it's time to switch to a new paper towel. Alright, toss that one in the trash over there. Just like that. And we're off to the races once again. Should probably have this on screen, shouldn't I? But it's rather hard to clean and see and watch what I'm doing while also keeping things in front of the camera. There we go. Yeesh. Now that is exceptionally nasty. Stuff's been stuck on there for so long that it almost feels like it's a part of the plastic. I'm just having to grind my finger against it until it finally comes away. Or maybe I just need more of the old rubbing alcohol. Almost there. Come on. Or should I say, come off. Okay. Alright. Looks like I'm going to need a toothpick for this next bit, which thankfully I happened to have on hand. Just gotta get in this little crevice right here. And that one right there. There we go. That's most of it. Maybe even the screwdriver tip. Get that plastic that I bored out of the other half out of there. Gotta be real careful, and I've decided I'm not going to be doing that. Okay. See another spot that I missed initially. Get as much of this funky gunk and nasty junk out of here as I am able. There we are. Oh, there's some more. When doing this kind of stuff, be sure to use wooden toothpicks, because if you use a plastic one, it can scratch up the inside of the plastic. Granted, these ones could also scratch up the plastic, but it's less likely because these things are rather flimsy. They're firm enough to get the job done, but if you push too hard on them, they will break on you. Keeping this in front of the camera is the optional, not the optional, the optimal thing to do when trying to do a live stream about cleaning a puppet. There we are. Alright. Time for some more paper towels. Toss that in the trash over there. And we get some more rubbing alcohol from over here. Just like that. Get it soaked through as much of that paper towel as possible. And we carry on as usual. Man, that rubbing alcohol smells foul. Mm-hmm. All right, little progress shot for y'all. Looking so much better already. All right, get that toothpick. See if we can wedge this paper towel into that gap and get some more of that gunk out of there. Well, there's some of it coming out. Okay. Now, technically, folks, if anyone's actually watching, I don't have to be this thorough because this is the inside of the puppet. But I want to make sure that he's not going to develop mold at some point in his future. Because that would be, as a lot of people would say, not good. Alright, that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get on the inside. So let's move on to taking care of the outside of the head stick. So toss those paper towels away. And we get ourselves more. And following standard procedure, we add some more rubbing alcohol. And this part is going to be so much easier because it's literally just wiping down the outside of the plastic, which doesn't have a whole lot of nooks and crannies and grooves in it. And as I say that, I come across a spot that's kind of stained with whatever that stuff is that was inside the neck. Right. Carefully. Right. Side 1 is done. Side 2, here we go. Got some ground-in dirt from all the gunk that's been inside the neck hole of the body of the puppet. Just gonna work on scrubbing that. Try and keep it in frame. Here we are. Probably can't tell too much, but it is an improvement. It is definitely an improvement. All right. It's the actual head stick itself. Almost done, because I just realized I missed a bunch right up here. With the two halves of the neck post stuck together like this, I can see a bunch of spots that I missed on the inside. All right. We're going to call that part done. Well, almost done. I just spotted a big black spot right down there. Don't know if y'all will be able to see it. If I can get it in front of the camera, maybe. Yeah, right there. Let's try and work the paper towel in there, like so, and kind of do like that. See, did it get it? Nope. Hold on. Where'd I put that toothpick? It's only on the one side, so we can just dig it out of there. All right, now we do the thing again. Paper towel in there, and there. There's a little spot over here that could use a good little wiping. A little cleaning, a little wipe down. Okay, now we're going to say that that part's done. So now we set that over here. Now let's work on the trigger button for the actual mouth. And you can see where a whole lot of whatever that liquid was some little kid tried to pour into Moe's mouth just drained into him. And it got everywhere. Almost got it. And for anyone who tunes in and you're confused as to why I'm doing this, not playing a game, like, did I get hacked or something? No, this is the real me. This is not some weird AI nonsense. Just decided that for today, to kind of add some content, since I haven't posted anything in several weeks, that I would try a little something different. Got it. Still really sucks that someone decided to glue this side, to glue this thing in place. Of all the parts of this head stick, they glued that. But it is whatever. And I broke my toothpick. Okay. As long as the toothpick didn't break, as long as the toothpick broke and this didn't break, I'm fine with that. Sorry for the squeaky sounds, but it happens. All right, going through again. Okay, get the top up here with a relatively clean side of that paper towel. All right. I'm going to consider that after I get this little spot right here. We're going to call that one done. So now we're just going to pop that back into the head stick so we don't go losing anything. And that's how the head stick works on these things. This piece right here comes into contact with the bottom of the lower jaw there and pushes the jaw open. And then the rubber band, which would be attached at the front here, pulls the mouth shut. All right, so head stick is done, and there's still enough of that one peg left in there that it's still going to work just fine. All right. Again, we set that off to the side. Now I'm going to clean up my area real quick, and we're going to work on Mo's head. We're just going to stick him over here for a minute. Okay, stick him, Mo, over here. Yeah, my jokes haven't gotten much better. My sincerest apologies, folks. All right. Screwdrivers away. Used paper towels away. All right, and pliers. And broken toothpick. Away. All right. How to handle this part. Let's just go ahead and use a wet wipe. Lemony. All right. La-da-dee-la-da-dum. La-da-da-dum. And then we get the little plastic bits off the edge like this. Come off of there. Huh. All right. I'm going to put these also in the trash. Do some quick paper towel work. Going to speed up the process so we can get right back into the work. Okay. Yeah. All right, Mo. It's time to work on your head. Let's see, where to start? Where to start? Well, I see one place we should start, and that's the inside. It's going to be a bit difficult getting in there, though. It's a rather cramped space. I could just get the jaw to come off. It wouldn't really help me too much anyway, because the jaw is situated right inside this little piece right here. Alright, anyway, enough stalling. It's time for me to do this thing. Paper towels. Let's go ahead and just go half a paper towel this time. To start anyway. And then that rubbing alcohol. Get it worked in there real nice and good. And we begin. Just in case I forgot to do it before, that's about what it looks like, minus a couple spots I already just cleaned off. Should probably have some royalty-free music or something playing while I'm doing this. Because I'm sure just staring at me quietly, scraping and scrubbing away at some old gunky puppet for however long I've been going. Oh, geez, almost an hour and 20 minutes. It's probably not the most entertaining of things. Yeah, Mo here is a dirty boy. Look at that. That all just came from this ring right here. Alright. Fold it over to a cleaner side. Now we start work on the inner portion right here. Alright, so there's a little progress shot. And then around the inside right here where I've been working. And of course, the paper towel proving just how disgusting that was. Working on cleaning these old ventriloquist puppets is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Alright, time for the next paper towel. Rubbing alcohol. Because for a job like this, we shouldn't really need much more of anything stronger than that. I hope. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry if I'm breathing right into the microphone, but it's got to be like right up on top of the camera to make sure that Mo's head here stays in frame whilst I'm doing this part. Right, now start working on the actual inside of the head a little bit. Oh wow. That is revolting. And there's the air conditioner. One more side I can use, and then we're on to the next paper towel. Well, it's certainly a lot cleaner than the first go around. Excuse me, folks. Pardon me, I had to do that. Get all that rubbing alcohol worked in there good and proper. Open it up. And we go again. There we go. Definitely making some progress. Look at that. Now I'm kind of curious if it's just one specific spot where all the gunk is. But I'm not going to focus on that, and we're just going to continue to plunge right on ahead. Ahead. And keep on cleaning. Okay, just a little bit that time. Okay. All right, it looks like we've just about got that where we want it. I'm going to go for one more go around because there's still just a little bit left. and I like to be thorough. Okay. All right, so that's the inside of the neck right here covered, and there's still all of that I want to try and get out of there. Okay, so throw that in the trash. Oh, there's a chunk of it that came loose. Any more chunks just hanging out in there? I'll take that as a no. Whoop. There it is. I don't know. Well, I dropped it somewhere, but there was a really thick chunk of that stuff that was just hanging out. Now, onward. Rubbing alcohol away. Darn it. Keep pulling it away from the camera. Okay, that side of the head is starting to look a lot better. Probably shouldn't have my face right over that rubbing alcohol coated paper towel while I'm doing this, but I keep doing it. Set them down for a minute so I can reorient my hands here. Okay. How's it going, Mo? Alright? Alright. To anyone tuning in right now, I know how awkward this looks, but it's not what it looks like. Unless you think it looks like I'm just cleaning up an old puppet, in which case Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. You knucklehead. Alright, next paper towel. Oh, and also a nice little not process shot, progress shot. Right up in there. Got this side. Turn it a bit. Got up in this side. Got this little bit right here. We're making progress. It's slow and steady, but it's progress. Okay. Rubbing alcohol thoroughly saturated into that paper towel, and I just inhaled a big whiff of it. I don't recommend that, folks. Okay, let's focus on this side of the inside of your mouth. Yuck. Welcome to the show, folks. Oh. Come back here. How's that side looking now? It is looking a lot better. See if we can flake off some more of the remnants of that old rubber band. Okay. Getting somewhere. I know what to do. Where are they? Just going to be careful here. Just reach up in there. Got part of it, at the very least. Alright. So for this next bit, I'm going to be basically shoving a wad of these up in there and just swirling it around until it is able to accomplish what I am trying to accomplish. Surprisingly, it's actually kind of working. Okay. See? It is actually working, and I am surprised. Alright, drop that back in. Yuck. Actually, I've got an idea for this. It's going to be a lot less silly, for lack of a better term. Be right back, folks, if anyone's watching. Alright, anyone who's actually watching, I have returned with a wooden dowel rod. As a way to kind of streamline this process, so it's not just me spinning the head round and round, right baby, right round, like a record baby, right round, round, round. I'm going to basically just make a giant Q-tip. Roll that up in there, like that. And then, haha. Yuck. Alright, we're going to combine the two ideas. Just going to wad up all of these disinfecting wipes. And then get them stuck on the end of this, so I've got a wider surface area. Let's see what we got. A whole lot of nasty on the end of a stick. Let's try for Mo's forehead now. Look at that. Just a couple little black spots up there, and some more on the inside of this side of his mouth. Whoops, he wasn't even on screen. On the inside of this side of his mouth. So you can probably, hopefully, see if I can get the angle right. There we go. So back in we go. Plunging the depths of Mo Howard's brains. Beautiful. Just perfect. All right. Now. Whoop, some of it came loose. Okay. Let go. Let's just focus with this bundle of disinfecting wipes. Or should I say this wad of wipes? Did I get it? Got most of it. Just a little bit right up there. Seems to be inside, behind Mo's eye. Tighten that up a bit. Try again. Okay, and then there's a little bit inside of his other cheek right there. Inside of his ear. What about the other ears? Is that one looking good? That one's looking okay. I'm very impressed with myself for coming up with that. I'm also feeling kind of dumb for myself because of how long it took me to come up with that idea. I see a spot. Can I get it with just the dowel rod? No, it's not quite small and dexterous enough to get into that little corner. Did that get it? No. Let's see. Where is that? It's right up in the tip of his nose. It's an unfair spot to have a spot inside of Mo's head. Let's see, did that get it? No. See, can I reach up in there with, like, one of my fingers? I can get really close. Okay, change of plans. Since it's, like, right up in here, this last spot that I'm seeing, I'm just going to go in with my fingers and hope that this wad of disinfecting wipes is thick enough that I can just jam it in there and smush it across enough times that that black spot of who knows what just is dealt with. Okay. Aha! Got it. Alrighty. Double check myself before I wreck myself. Okay. Good. Cleaned out the inside of Mo Howard's dirty old head. And of course now I see another spot inside his ear, but this one I can reach with just a finger. Because it's just down here in his earlobe. Alright, now we're good. And these can go in the trash. And before I get any farther here, I'm going to go ahead... Oh, son of a gun. Of course, after I toss them away, I now need one. Because I spotted another spot, because I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. Where was it? There it is. It's right there. Okay. Now, barring any other nonsense, I'm going to say that Mo's head internally is clean. It's alright, Mo? It's alright. Alright. Curse my perfectionistic ways. Oh, wait a minute. I see more of that rubber band now. Can I grip it with these, and can I just firmly but delicately extract it? Aha! Knew there was more rubber band hiding in there. Hold it up under the light. Get a good angle on it. Looks like there's still some more that's just stuck on the side. Let's see, can I scrape it loose with the dowel rod? Kind of. Okay. Oh, there. Let's see if I can get that maneuvered into a spot where I can get it with the pliers. I keep doing this all off screen. I'm sorry, folks. Here. Let me just... If I could just remove his jaw, then this would be so much simpler. Oh, wait, that might be just where I need it so I can get it with the pliers. Aha! All that work for this little tiny bit of payoff. Now, hopefully that was the rest of it, so I can stop hyperfixating on a rubber band. Now, because there's a bunch of wet wipe residue, disinfecting wipe, I should say, residue inside his head, we get out the paper towels yet again, and we take the dowel rod, and we turn that into a giant cotton swab. We swab around inside his head, and we try and dry it all up. Alright. So the inside of his head is now starting to look nice and clean. Now we get to move on to making his beautiful, ugly mug look beautiful again. In an ugly way. Watch it, you. If I had my hands, why, I'd give you such a poke in the eye. Sure you would, Mo. Sure you would. Okay. Now back to what we were doing before. Paper towels, rubbing alcohol, and rubbing. Now before I get too far with the actual rubbing portion of this, I want to get some nice up-close detailed shots of all that grime and gunk that's all over his face, the pencil mustache that some child or some person drew on there at one point. The gunk around the back of his head. The dust on the top. And with that, I'm going to avoid the painted areas on his face for the moment. And we're going to work on just getting all the gunk and grime off of the non-painted areas. So we'll start right here with this big smudge on the back of his neck. It's really ground in there. I'll switch to the thumb. It's looking better, but we're not quite there yet. Got it. We'll use the dowel rod. That's it, come on. Let's try going at it from a different angle. Alright, we'll move on from there for the moment, but we'll come back to it. There we go, the more easily removed bits of gunk and grime. Already a remarkable improvement. Once I've finished with this side of his face, I'll hold him up so y'all can get a side-by-side of just how much it's changed already. Flip this over to the clean side. Okay. Methinks I need a bit more rubbing alcohol. Work it back through the paper towel again. And let's keep going. Sorry, Mo, you had a little something in your nose. It's really stuck in there. That was stuck in there. Q-tip time. Where did I put the Q-tips? It's Q-tip time. Time to use the Q-tips because there's a spot that the paper towel just can't get into. Yay. Just get a little bit of that rubbing alcohol in there. And we just gently scrub-a-dub-dub. My gloves keep on slipping. Alright, time for the next Q-tip. Now, as a reminder, folks, when you're doing something like this on a painted area of no matter what you're working on, I said that weird, but whatever, always take your time and be careful. And also, if you're not sure how the paint is going to react to the agent that you're using, whether it be rubbing alcohol or lighter fluid as toy polloi would do, or anything like that, always try and start with a spot that's not going to be noticeable in case there's an adverse reaction between what you're using and the paint on the item in question. I foolishly have not taken that step with Mo here, so I'm just going in blind. We'll see what happens. And my apologies to anyone who's squeamish about, things happening to a person's eye, but some doofus over the last 40 years that Mo has existed on this blue marble that we call Earth, that we call home. Someone decided to take some, looks like, red pen and gave him bloodshot eyes. And I'm just doing my best with this stuff to try and get it back off of the eyes without doing too much damage. Alright. Made it to the halfway point of cleaning his face. So now, the dramatic reveal. Get that right up in the camera. This is the side. Hold on, let me get some better lighting on the subject. Maybe better lighting, I don't know if it's helping or not. But this is the side that I have yet to clean. You can still see like the pen and or pencil mustache that some goof drew on there. And if you look at the eye, not that eye, come on now. If you look at his eye, you can see what I was talking about with the red pen or whatever. And here's the side that I've worked on. You can already see most of that red pen is gone. Took care of at least half of that pencil, pen, whatever mustache. Cleared up a lot of the gunk and goop. Still a couple spots I need to work on, like right here. And I think that eye is just about as good as I'm going to be able to get it, all things considered. So now it's time for this half of his face. And hurry up about it, bub. I'm working, Mo, I'm working. Alright. So here we go again. Yeah, see folks, there's some of that red marker or pen or whatever coming out of his eye. I'm getting all that pencil or pen or whatever this is, these markings from around his eyeball out of there. It's not as easy as it should be. I'm going to guess that stuff's been on there for a long time. All right. Excuse me, folks. Burps happen, and I'm sorry that I do them so frequently. Get all that paper towel saturated with that rubbing alcohol. There's just so many pencil and or pen marks just right around this one eye. I do not understand why. Let's switch to the thumb, the stronger digit. Like, I am scrubbing on this as hard as humanly possible, or as hard as I'm able to, and it is just not really budging. Okay. Going to pause on that, and we're going to work on taking care of Mo's conjunctivitis he's got going on. For dry, itchy, irritated eyes, the difference is clear. Clear eyes. So we've got ourselves some rubbing alcohol on there, and we're going to give Mo the clear eyes treatment. Well, some of it's coming off. Again, my sincerest apologies to anyone in the viewing audience who's squeamish about this kind of thing, you know, stuff happening to eyeballs. But it is a necessity because of some little doofenshmirtz back in the day drawing on his eyeballs with red pen. Thankfully, it is coming up, though. Just not as drastic of a shift in the stuff as it was with the other eye. Go ahead and grab ourselves a brand new Q-tip and start tossing this stuff to the garbage. Did I actually get some on the right? Yeah, I did. And I'm off screen again, dagnabbit. I didn't get enough on the Q-tip. And so apparently I decided that I was just going to pour it right onto the table. Okay. It's not really shifting on that eye. Alright, for the time being, we're going to leave that eye alone, and we're going to go back to using the paper towel on the rest of his face. Actually, no. We're going to start working on the inside of his mouth, where some little doof decided to mark out not one, but two of his teeth with a black marker. And I can just about guarantee it's not going to do much, but we're going to try. Alright, it's already got the rubbing alcohol saturated into it. So we're going to just take this Q-tip. Well, surprisingly, it is actually shifting that black magic marker. Okay. In which case, we're actually going to shift. We're going to switch over to the paper towel. We're going to try this. Not 100% finished yet, but there's an update shot. Okay, switch to the pinky so I can get in there a little better. Paper towel would not get off of my pinky for some reason. Alright, now let's work on that tooth in the corner there. That one is cleaning up so much better. Yeah, see, that tooth's almost back to normal now. See if I can get... Okay, yeah, right there. Just got to keep scrubbing on this front molar, or whatever you'd call that tooth, bicuspid. I don't know. Alright. Switch back over to using a Q-tip. Do this right over the paper towel in case it decides to squirt again, like that. Yuck. Got more gunk out of there. There's a bit more on this side. Yeah, see? The tooth is already looking leagues better than it did initially. You're not just whistling Dixie, bub. Or should I say, porcupine? Use the saturated paper towel to hydrate the... No, it's not going to work. I was going to try and... Well, I just said what I was going to try and do. But it didn't work, so... I'm just going to carry on. Scrub it in. Alright, I've hit the layer of that permanent marker or whatever that's stuck in there good enough that I might just have to leave it as is, lest I want to use something harsher and wind up taking off the original paint. But I'll give myself credit. I managed to shift a lot of that marker gunk out of there. Alright, so since I'm giving up on that portion, let's go ahead and actually clean out the inside of his mouth a bit, because in the back here, right along the back, is a bunch of gunk like the stuff that was up inside it earlier. Since this is already properly saturated, we're going to take the paper towel, we're going to take the dowel rod, and we're going to work on the inside of your mouth, Mo. Okay. Alright, that's one side. Oh, wow. Look at that. That was in your mouth, Mo. Yeah, and what of it? Well, it's disgusting. Yeah, and what of it? Porcupine. How about you open your mouth and let me put this back in there so I can finish the job. What? It tastes bad. Of course it tastes bad. It's a friggin' dowel rod that's loaded up with rubbing alcohol and paper towels. Alright, there's a bit right in the back there on the mouthpiece. Now there's some stuff up in the corners, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that, because it's like right up inside of here. For that, I'm probably going to actually need to remove the mouth. Unless... Let's see, can I work this up in there? So make it as thin as paperly possible. Or can I get a Q-tip in there? I can. Alright, I can do it. I can do it without removing his mouth. I'm so stuffy today. Sorry that I keep sniffling in the microphone, folks. But like I said, I'm using the microphone on this webcam today. And again, while I'm working on this puppet, to keep him in frame, because I do this thing where I like pull what I'm working on towards me, I have to be like right up on the camera. You know, to keep him in frame. Now then, above the paper towels, in case it does that thing again. There we go. Now I gently slide this in the corner here. And I'm set to work about getting all that gunk out from behind your jaw. Ugh. Alright. Time for another Q-tip. I keep pulling him away from the camera. Sorry, folks. Holy cheese. And I thought the first one was bad. Look at that nonsense. And it just keeps getting funky each and every time I put one of those Q-tips in there. It's coming out cleaner now, though. Oh boy. Don't even think about it, Mo. Alright. Gotta keep on keeping on. Elizabeth's down in the basement. It's 3:11. Okay. I'm going to have to wrap up this stream here in a bit, folks, or at the very least... Actually, no, I can keep going. I've got an itch on the top of my head. Eh. There's something stuck right in the back of his mouth. Can't tell if that's a piece of plastic or what. Oh, yeah, it's just a piece of plastic. Alright, but the other side of the back of his mouth, though, that's more like gunk and junk in there. Alright, I still see that there's more stuff lodged up in the back behind his jaw. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it. Not with his jaw being attached, that is. So I can just wedge some paper towel up in there and hook onto it from the back. Dang it, I had it and then my hand slipped. Well, I shifted a bunch of it with the paper towel. Yeah, there's still a bunch on this side of his mouth, though. Let's get a look. Let's get a look. Okay, this side's looking just about done. I keep pulling him out of frame again. There's more of that gunk that was stuck on the back of the jaw piece. I don't know why my voice keeps going deeper and deeper. Perhaps I just need some water. Thankfully, I have some. Alright, Mo, let's get another look at the inside of your mouth. Still just a bit right in the back there. Get a look at it in the light. Okay, dry it up. And we're going to consider Mo Howard's mouth to be as clean as I'm going to be able to get it. Now for the top of his head. Because I can guarantee not all of these little nicks and marks are paint loss. Case in point, right here, right there, and it looks like a little bit right there. So, going back to the paper towels. I'm going back to the rubbing alcohol. Squish, squish, squash, squash. Smush it all around, get it all in there, up and down. And we begin. Yeah, we're getting somewhere, look at that. Alright, push down for a minute, Mo, so I can adjust the paper towels, don't you know? Taking our time, going nice and slow. Right, let's get the back of your head, because I avoided the paint the first time. Not nearly as bad as the top of your head. Oh, there's a spot. Give it the old scrub-a-dubbin. last thing I'm going to do for this stream is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean as much of this gunk out of the rim of his neck as I can. Then I'm going to put a new spring in there. We'll put a spring in there and see about fixing the rest of the mouth mechanism. So if anyone's presently watching, thank you for actually tuning in. For everyone who just tuned in and tuned away, thank you regardless. And I just burped again. My apologies. Now I hiccuped. Alright. To get in that little deep area, needle nose pliers and a paper towel. Just kind of wedge the tips of the pliers in there. Just slowly, gently work it back and forth. So you can get a better view of how nasty that was. See, can I get the Q-tip in there? I can. All right. Alright. Now jam the dry side of the Q-tip in there. Work our way around. Dry everything out and get any remaining nastiness out of there. Get it off my finger. Alright. Now don't go away, folks. I gotta go get the spring I'm going to be using. And when I come back, I'll add it to the figure and we'll see how we go. Alright, here I am with a spring. Hopefully this one will work for my purposes. So the first thing I've got to do is I have to hook one end of this spring all the way up inside the head onto that. Let me get this in frame. You see that little stick right there in the back? I have to hook this through a little hole in the side of it there and get it to stretch all the way back out of the head and to hook it onto this little post right here. It's going to be a tricky one. So let's see, how far is it going to have to... I bumped the camera with my head. So how far is it going to have to stretch? We'll use the dowel rod. Okay. If we go ahead and take this apart, then that spring is going to have to stretch that far. Before I get too carried away and I lose my positioning here, I should mark that off. So the spring needs to stretch about that far. From here to there. Go ahead and double check my work here, make sure I'm not getting anything in error. I keep bumping the camera. Oh, I am off. Okay. So grab that marker again. So I need it to actually stretch this far down. That's why it's always a good thing to cut twice and measure once. Measure twice and cut once when you're doing a job that's going to be kind of permanent. Don't you do that. Should probably throw that away, shouldn't I? Alright, so we got a spring that's about that big, and it needs to stretch really friggin' far. Let's go ahead and turn this around. So we've got a better point to grab. Okay, for just a second there I thought I snapped the spring. I did not. Okay. So now let's go ahead and open up the end of the spring a little bit, like that. See about hooking that onto the back of that post right there. Okay, gotta open it a little more. It's another tricky job that wouldn't be so tricky if I could just get Moe's jaw out of his head. Alright, come on now. This thing is about to drive me nuts. It's probably because I'm trying to make a spring that is too small work in this situation. Okay. Oh, I see. The piece of plastic is just a bit thicker than I was anticipating that it was. Alright, I officially have the spring hooked in place, where it's hopefully going to stay as I assemble the rest of the head. Let's see. So I have the spring now long enough that it's going to stick in place until it doesn't. Okay. Let's try this again. Spring through there. Alright, spring is back in place again. Decent amount of tension behind it. Good, good. Then we attach this side of the head stick. I reach in there with these pliers to make sure I don't lose my grip on the friggin' thing. Come here, you goofy thing. This is going to be a tricky project. Alright. Now that we've got that piece in place, just add the others. Oh, don't even tell me the spring is now interfering with this piece. Okay, good. Good, good, good. There we go. Or should I say, there we go. And that is basically that. So, ta-da! And I think one improvement I'm going to do on the original design is, since there's already this hole here, I'm going to, not right now of course, but at some point in the future, I'm going to drill through that and get one of those self-threading screws and screw the base of his neck together. So that way in the future, if someone needs to replace that spring I put in there, or if I need to replace that spring, they can just go and just pop his head apart and put the new spring in. The next part of this little series is going to be where I work on cleaning the torso and the hands. Actually, hold on. Let's see what. As much as I want to keep going, well, you know what? The heck with it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to start with this because it seems like it's going to be a big thing to do, but it's really straightforward. So, going to avoid the rubbing alcohol this time and the paper towels, aside from using them to dry as I go along. I'm just going to grab the wet wipes, the disinfecting wipes. We're just going to go to town. Got to make this kind of quick, though. I've got a friend who's got something coming up at 4, and, well, it's already 3:46 Eastern Standard Time, that is. The only thing that's going to be left to do after I finish this is going to be cleaning the body. Or not the body, the outfit. But that I am going to save for a different video, or I'm just going to do it off screen. Let's see. Oof. Nasty. Alright. Thankfully, like I said, this part and the hands are going to be fairly quick to do. So, just going to keep my thumb there for the sake of privacy. Or not privacy, dignity, or whatever the word is you want to use for that. A little bit right there in the center on the inside. And oh look, I tore my glove. Wonder when that happened. Alright. Now that's the inside of the puppet, looking a lot better. Let's go in and dry him out. Alright. That is the head and torso of Mo put back together now. And for the sake of it, so his head doesn't just drop off of his body, I'm going to reuse that old rubber band. So I'm just going to stick that back through on that little peg inside. Where is it? There it is. I'll just and okay. Okay, good. It didn't just fail. Whew. I was about to be super upset. Come on, there it is. Okay. Now to make sure that the head doesn't just fall apart and fall off the body, it's now rubber banded back in place with the original band. It's alright, Mo? It's alright. Okay, we're going to put you over here. Sorry if it seems like I'm getting a bit frantic, folks, anyone who's actually watching. Just like I said a couple minutes ago, I've got to be a bit quick at this point because my friend has a thing they got to do at 4. So I've got to be quick about finishing up this little project. Actually, you know what, folks? I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you to anyone and everyone who tuned in today. Truly appreciate it. And like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. That is, if you want to. If not, don't worry about it. And with all of that out of the way, this is your old pal Oxleymations and the remnants of Mo, wishing you all a good day, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.